It's Dunk here, New Parks Farm, and we're doing a little winter update today. It's 17th of February, and it's a little bit of a rainy, drizzly day, but it's not too bad. Just have a quick look around the farm. So you're gonna have a look at the apple trees, the bees, the lake, obviously the sheep, and a couple of other things maybe. I got some elms which fallen down from Dutch elm disease. We've done a little bit of wood chipping as well, so have a look in the polytunnel at the hotbeds that I've made for my seedlings. Got the sheep shorn, finished yesterday. Didn't video any of that. We were sort of like caught a bit by surprise. I spoke to Roscoe last week and he said he probably couldn't get here this week, and then suddenly he let me know 10 o'clock the night before and said, yeah, I'm coming. And I was like, oh, luckily I had the sheep in and it was all ready to go. So we did that last week. It was really cold, really wet for us. Sorry, not wet, really cold. We had a couple of degrees below freezing by night and barely above freezing by day, and we didn't have any problems from it. It actually dried everything up quite nicely. We didn't have any rain at all for 6 days, which was nice. But it did give us a chance to do some outside work. The only problem we did have was the wind. It was really windy for it being that cold, and I think the wind chill was sort of -11 at times as well, which is centigrade. That's really bad for us. But we did get quite a lot done. Got some wood trees cut up and some wood chipping, and we managed to drive a tractor out in the field without making a mess that one day. Monday it warmed up, and we had quite a nice day Monday. We got the sheep finished off, like I said, and we turned all the other ones out. They've been in for quite a long time because of the cold weather, but they've all gone out now and they're enjoying the grass. And these ones will be in now for a few days. You got those, and the ewe lambs are this side, and they'll go out in a week or so, hopefully no more frost, or not bad frost, and they're even saying it might dry up a bit next week. That'll be good. Anyway, we'll have a look around, see what we can see. So here's the ewe lambs. There's 34 of them in there. The plan is hopefully for about half of them to be lambing end of April to May, and then I'll sell the rest in May, half of them. And they're eating their first cut silage, and this is the first time I've had a chance to video it, and it is absolutely beautiful stuff. Loads of leaf, a little bit of clover in there as well, and it's just, there's a bit of clover, just lovely stuff. Really pleased with it, and the sheep are doing really well on it. So here are the rams. They were shorn yesterday as well. We've got Bomber on the left, Clarky at the back, and then we've got Beltex and Barney here in the front, and we shut them in this fairly small pen. They can move around, but they can't get a good run up at each other because they do like to have a little fight after they've been sheared. They don't know who each other are. They can't tell by the smell. So for a day, we just leave them close up. So if they do want to fight, which they will, that they can't hurt each other or do any damage. And Barney, we think, might have a little problem with one of his testicles. I haven't checked him from shearing, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that, and hopefully we'll find out if he gets if he's got his girls in lamb anyway from November. They're due to start lambing in March. So first lambs of the year. These are about 2 weeks old now. Been out for 2 or 3 days. Kept them in during all that cold weather, and they're doing pretty good. Just woke him up, and the mum is over there. These are the 4 weaners. Doing pretty good. Strip grazing them on the stubble turnips. The ark's down there, so they've sort of come around the patch of Phacelia, which I'm going to leave to flower, and they're doing pretty good. Move the fence for them. So they're just behind one strand of the electric fence, and that's keeping them in fine. There's no turf here for them to throw over the fat wire, which is a problem I get sometimes if they're in grass, but it doesn't happen when they're in loose soil like this. And the stubble turnips actually recovered really well from the frost last week. They weren't looking very good at all a couple of days ago, but a couple of days of warm weather and they perked right back up again and looking pretty good. They survived it. Okay, so these are my two sows. This one on the right is hopefully pregnant. I'm pretty sure she is, and we're expecting her to farrow March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So watch out for that. I'll try and get some video definitely of piglets and possibly of actually farrowing if I can. And the other one here, she's only just this last weekend been inseminated, so 3 months, 3 weeks. We'll be expecting her. Yep, so the chickens are still locked down because of bird flu. They're in the polytunnel and they're actually doing a really good job at scratching around on the beds. We haven't had to put the sheep in here because we did have enough shed room in the other shed actually to keep them all in, so we managed to move things around a bit, keep the chickens in here, and they're doing really well with the light on as well. They're still laying in this dry leaves. There's 12 of them. I'm getting 12 eggs a day. Last week we actually got the wood chipper out. It was too windy and cold to video any of it, but we got these two bags of wood chips and did that on Thursday I think, and it's Wednesday now, so almost a week. Now they're getting too hot to touch. Now I started some seeds at home indoors, just some cabbages, and I put some more going as well, and some leeks and onions as well. So I put them in there, just those trays on top to keep the chickens off, but that's nice and warm. And I already had this cover built which fitted on top of my compost pot, so I put some more trays. So I got some Brussels sprouts, some watermelon and courgettes. First time I've tried watermelon, and give them a go in the polytunnel this year. And then another tray of onions, and that's actually warm to touch, and you can see the condensation on the inside. Right down in that wood chips, it's too hot for me to touch with my hand, but just on top it's just nice and warm, and hopefully that'll give the seeds a good start off. We still left up some sweet corn and stuff for the chickens to play around with, and they seem to be really enjoying it in here. It started to rain again. Oh well. Okay, so the bees are a little bit active. It's sort of raining, drizzling on and off. We've had a couple of showers this morning, but bees are flying a little bit. They didn't do anything at all last week with all that rain. Actually, a little bit of pollen coming in, even though it's pollen on them. That hive's a little bit active. This one's got a little bit of movement as well around the front. They were definitely flying the other day. Yeah, there's action. That one as well. So the bees are doing a little bit. They're sort of enjoying the sunshine we had on Monday, but Wednesday today it's not so good. And these are the apple trees, giving them a trim up, and I've taken taken the rings around them, which is to keep the deer off, and got a little bit of trouble with rabbits going in and having a go, so I've reinforced the rabbit guards a bit. We've given them a good trim up. We're going to have a go at grafting some of these onto some new rootstocks that I've bought, the best ones anyway. Have a go at that, and just have a little wander down and check the hedgerow trees. And so the miscanthus is all died off now. It's still a little bit green in the middle, it's not dry enough to cut yet, and the hedge is still completely dormant. This blackthorn's loaded with buds, so it'll be loaded with flowers when they come. The hazel, some hazels I've seen have started to come out, the catkins. There's some here a bit further on. There's others. This is sort of north facing, this hedge, and the south facing hedges have started to come out a little bit. There's quite a few big elm trees in this hedge, and when they get to about that sort of size, they start to succumb to the Dutch elm disease, and there's 2 or 3 that have fallen over, and there's some that were leaning over, and I've just cut those off, and I need to get in and log the rest of these. But you can see it's just these are all got diseased, and there's a few there that are still alive, but probably a couple of years more and they'll come, and then there's smaller ones that will grow up and take their place, and that seems to be what's happening lately. There's another one there that's probably going to fall next year if I don't get to it. There's one there that came down a couple of years ago that we've taken down. So, shame, but that's what we got to live with elms, I'm afraid. So there's an elm here that is leaning out at a funny angle. Didn't think it was going to stay up too much longer, so cut that one down. We've got a few logs there. We took away all the smaller logs, and I've cleaned up a few willows over there as well, so we can get a little gap so we can get through there with the tractor. And we always do a little bit of clean up. So we've got a couple of big bags of logs and a couple of bags of wood chips, and the rest of the woodland is looking pretty good. Some of the ash trees I'm still a bit worried about for the dieback. And here we've got bluebells. They're starting to come. So there are daffodils out as well in places around the farm. But the bluebells are not flowering yet, but definitely emerging. So this is the lake. Frog spawn, got a little bit there. And herons coming in, pulling out quite a lot of that every day. There's some more hens here flying around as well, which I just missed. All the bulrushes and the burr reeds, which mainly the reeds here that we got, have died back. Some of this little green, I don't know what you call it, duckweed or some sort of thing, it's starting to grow. Signs of spring. This is the stream that runs into it. Got a pretty good flow there. It's starting to rain again. Anyway, in the winter it looks completely different to the summer, obviously, once everything dies back. Alright, so that's it for winter. Well, probably isn't quite it for winter, but it's all for the winter update. Spring on the way, let's hope. We've got quite a lot expecting to happen. We've got sheep lambing, we've got pig farrowing, and yeah, I'm going to try and get some footage of us doing some wood chipping as well, and obviously bees. See if I can get some more footage of bees. People have asked me about bees, so I like the bees. We'll get some footage of that if we can. And apple grafting, apple tree grafting, and have a go at that as well. Okay, so I guess I'll see you directly.